Happy Friday. It's story time. So, I am 10 days away from book launch. So, I said I would come back and give you a little bit more of my book. So, here's the rest of the intro. When I was around 12, our house caught on fire and caused my mother, brother, and I to move to a very different side of town that I had lived for my whole life up until that point. For my mother, it was a much better neighborhood for us. But I hated it at first because all of my friends, much of my family, and everyone who looked like me were in our old neighborhood. So at a young age, I had to learn to interact with people who were different from me. It wasn't what I was accustomed to, but I quickly learned to adapt. We looked different from 99% of our neighbors, so I didn't go outside as much. I spent a lot of alone time in my bedroom dreaming. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to be when I grew up, but watching my mother get dressed up for work as a teenager and watching movies made me often dream of business suits and boardrooms. I dreamed of briefcases and business meetings. I dreamed of executives and power lunches. I dreamed of vacations at the beach and Disney World. I never imagined those things would actually become a part of my life at that age. What I didn't realize back then is that the circumstances in my life were setting the stage for my story. Everything in your life happens for a specific reason that you may not totally understand when it's happening. I didn't understand then that the fire in our home that caused us to move was putting me in a place to learn to have friends of all races. This would become an important part of my journey because the life that I was destined to live would sometimes put me in situations where I may be the only person of my race or gender in the room, and I would need to be comfortable with that. It also showed me that there was a world outside of the neighborhood that I had spent my entire life in, and it sparked curiosity of what else was out there. Curiosity and dreaming are what would eventually take my life to places that I would never have imagined. Dream big for yourself and don't let anyone or anything stop you from reaching your goals and desires. If you are in the same place and situation this year as you were last year, you aren't living, you are just existing. Just because things aren't given to you doesn't mean you can't achieve them. My story is a journey of starting out in a small inner city neighborhood to go on to working on some of the biggest and most innovative technology projects at one of the largest companies in the world, and eventually mentoring other dreamers to follow their dreams. During my journey, I transformed into the version of myself that I was born to be, and my vision of the butterfly code came to life. As I tell my story, I will summarize with small pieces of advice that have helped me soar that I call flutter bites. A bite in technology is a small piece of information. I hope these small pieces of information will help guide you into transformation and emerging the way it has for me. The butterfly code. Here are my 5 steps. Preparation. You must crawl before you can fly. Evolve. You aren't meant to stay a caterpillar. Transformation. Embrace change while being still in your chrysalis. Emerge. Strengthen your wings. Transcend and soar. This is where you are meant to be. So that's it for the introduction. Come back next week and I'll give you a little bit of chapter 1. Also, you can order my book right now at thebutterflycode.com. I am on Amazon as well as some other locations, but you can get to all of the links on my website. All right, y'all have a great day.